Welcome into a brand new edition of the Believe in Panthers podcast here on Believe Podcast Network. It's brought to you by the fine folks over at FanDuel. Desmond Johnson in the house with the Panthers all-time leading rusher Jonathan Stewart. And Stu, the Panthers had an assignment Monday night and did not complete the assignment, falling 20-9 to the San Francisco 49ers, a playoff possible team themselves, moving to 8-4 on the season. We got a healthy dose of Christian McCaffrey last night. It felt like that's all they had was Christian McCaffrey, but it was enough. It was enough.
Yeah, it was definitely enough.
It was more enough. Give me your initial thoughts here. We got a condensed version of Believe in Panthers today. We wanted to go live. Shout out to Lindsay and everybody over at Believe for letting us go live. We are old folks. We did not want to get up and do this at midnight last night, so we decided to wait and do it in the morning after we slept on it. Stu, your initial thoughts on the game last night, and I'll tag in after you.
Initial thoughts are, I wish we would have ran the ball more. Simply put, on that era, on that mindset, that shift that we, had earlier in the season, we found ourselves in identity, right? And I even look back to last week against the Falcons. The ground game yards per carry wasn't all the way there, but we still dialed the runs. You dial the runs to keep an offense honest. You dial the runs because it's part of moving the chains. And for whatever reason, we got away from that yesterday, and it put us in a bind. It put us in situations where we couldn't move the ball. We couldn't get any points. The defense did enough, and simply put, the offense didn't do enough. And, they played really well. I mean, we had 3 interceptions on defense, had some good field position, had some good opportunities to get in the zone there, but we just couldn't get it done. And for whatever reason, we have to figure out what we're going to live and die by. If we're going to be a run team, let's be a run team. When you're on that goal line, let's run it.
Yeah, I was wondering how long it's going to take for us to bring this part up.
Let's just run it, but I understand as an offensive coordinator, you see certain things, you see certain matchups. All I'm saying is, as a player, I always believe in simplifying the game, because the game is pretty simple, especially if you have the pieces that it takes to win games. On defense, we played ball. And we basically said, hey, Christian McCaffrey, you're going to get yours because you're a special player. But everybody else, you got to pay, right? And early in the first half, we were making them pay, and we just didn't capitalize on any of it. And offense has to figure out, when we get the ball in good territory, when we get the ball in our opponent's territory, got to figure out a way to come out of those situations with touchdowns. That's what playoff caliber teams do. They score points. They score touchdowns. And I just think we just made it a little bit harder than it needed to be on offense yesterday.
Yeah, it's kind of hard when your defense gets 3 interceptions to try to explain how you lost 20-9. And the interceptions they got, the 2 from J.C. Horn, the second one from J.C. Horn, that was just him basically freelancing pretty much.
Boy, he was playing. Hey, he went and found work, right? What we call that, go find some work. You're in zone. Don't just be sitting there finding space. Don't be playing your space. Go find some work. Okay. Mm-hmm. He went and found that, and it was a beautiful pick. He read that thing the whole entire way.
I'm trying to figure out when he got hurt, because he got ruled out with a concussion. And honestly, that's kind of when the balloon, the air went out of the balloon for me, when I started realizing how many people we had gotten injured in this game. And we came into the game injured to begin with. And it started to feel like the defense wasn't going to be able to hold because of the guys that were going out. Like, you had guys going out that were backing up guys that were already out. They were getting injured. We'll get to the injury report in just a second. But Christian McCaffrey, 142 yards from scrimmage, scored a touchdown, basically overcoming Brock Purdy's performance, where I'm not gonna lie, every time Brock Purdy threw it longer than 15 yards, I was like, yo, that might be up for grabs.
That
whatever.
Might be a pick. I mean, to be honest, there was a couple more throws that were like almost picks. Like J.C. Horn was sitting behind a post, that where if he was a little bit there, like a little bit further upfield, that would have been another pick. And then the fumble that Christian had, it
Oh
just
God, yeah,
bounced
the
into
fumble.
their arms, right?
Mm.
But that we're sitting here talking about all the opportunities that we could have had outside of the 3 turnovers that we did have that gave the Carolina Panthers an advantage and an opportunity to just put points on the board, right? Or just control the ball, control the rock, control the time of possession, move the chains. How do we move the chains? Trenches.
It's. I won't lie. I was a little worried going into this game because it feels like the Panthers on prime time have not been good for a long time. And we're talking about different regimes, different quarterbacks, different rosters. It just seems like something about playing at night. It just seems like we're not able to do it. Even when you guys, like 2016, I still ingrained in my mind the Denver game that opened up the season, that Thursday night game in 2016.
Oh yeah, that was post Super Bowl hangover.
And I was just like, it just always just feels like something on the primetime games with us. And I went to this game like, okay, nobody's picking us. We're across, we're on the West Coast. We're at the Niners. The Niners are actually just stuck in a division where they might have the best team in football up above them, and we're going to see them next week.
The Rams looked really good. The Rams looked really good against the Buccaneers. Obviously, Baker Mayfield going out doesn't help them any, but by that time they were already struggling. Stafford, man, he's a Hall of Famer, right? So it's not a mistake. It's not scratching a head and wondering how they're so good. It's because they have a future Hall of Famer on their team, simply put. And they have a future Hall of Fame coach, in my opinion, the way he be out here, rallying his guys under, real quiet, like too, right? Like nobody really talks about the Rams until this time of the year.
Yeah,
last year,
9-2,
last year we're like, wait, they about to be a playoff team, right?
I mean, they're the only consistent team really in the entire league, because we talked about this last week or week before, where there's not really a dominant team this year. Like everybody kind of wanted to give it to the Eagles because they won the Super Bowl, but they've had holes all year, and now they're starting to lose a little bit. The Rams have just kept on trucking, and they're in my opinion, the toughest division in all of football, the NFC West this season. Seattle's going to make the playoffs, regardless if they're the division winner or not. The Rams are going to be in there. San Francisco made a statement last night. I don't feel any different about this Panther team after they played San Francisco. Like I feel like if we had played in Charlotte, the game would have been a little different. But this is still a young team. Like they have to learn how to win these kind of games now. Not before they had to learn how to win the 1:00 games against the Miamis of the world. You know what I mean? Like this is a different thing. You were the only show in town. There is no other game on TV. You are it. You are the national game. It's at night. It's against the 49ers, a blue blood of the NFL. You're playing against your former best player in Christian McCaffrey. And I'm seeing, there was a message from us on Twitter from a Brandon Athey too that said, man, y'all, how do y'all not capitalize? Wait, no, man, y'all, how do we force 3 turnovers and not capitalize on any of them offensively? And how do you going to let Rico run the rock just 6 times? I'm frustrated. This would have been a franchise-defining game last night. And it would have been. But we need to give props to Robert Saleh and the 49er defense, because that defense was playing hard without their best players. They didn't have Warner out there, Bosa's out, and they were losing players during the game. So, like, the scheme he put up, Robert Saleh might not be a great head coach from his previous stint with the Jets, but he's always been a damn good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he's always been a good defensive coordinator. Yeah. But look, man, this is the stat line, right? First downs, 12, Panthers. The San Francisco 49ers had 23. Okay? 23. All right, now we're going to look at top rushing category, right? Rico Dowdle had 38 yards, 6 carries. Christian McCaffrey had 89 yards, 24 carries, okay? So let's break that in. Let's break that down a little further. Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard combined probably for, I guess, 6 yards per carry? Chuba had 3 carries for 16, 5.3 yard average, along with 10. Rico had 6 for 38, 6.3 yards per average.
5.3 is what the Russian average was last night for us. That's counting Bryce Young.
Last night, 5.3. That's including Bryce Young, right? Because Bryce Young had 3.8 yards.
Runs.
He had a run, he got sacked. But 17-yard was the longest run, right? We look at the San Francisco 49ers. They ran the ball 38 times to our 13 times. They had a game plan.
Mm-hmm.
And the game plan was to run the rock. Okay? Run the rock. And also give the ball to Christian McCaffrey. And it panned out. They've been doing that all year long. They've been doing this all year long. They die by what their game plan is, and they live by it. And I just think that we got away from it on offense.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it feels like we don't do that. That we come in with a game plan and then we kind of think about it, or something happens during the game and we try to switch it, and it sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. If it's against a good team with a great coaching staff like the 49ers, it just felt like we never could get going offensively, even when we were getting handed the ball like off of these interceptions or whatnot, or getting bailed out. A lot of times it felt like we were getting bailed out. Like the offense did something bad. Like Bryce throws a pick.
I mean,
we go down, we get the pick back.
The first drive, right? The first opportunity we had, he had Rico Dowdle had a 4-yard run. Then we get a 10-yard penalty, 3-yard pass, 10-yard run, punt. You know what I'm saying? So the penalty was what got us out of that situation, got us out of a potential moving the chains, getting down the field. You have a penalty that you have to overcome, and unfortunately, you have pretty good plays. You have if you look at a 4-yard run, a 3-yard pass, that's 7 yards. A 10-yard run, that's 17 yards. But for whatever reason, you get a penalty, and you basically succumb to the 10 yards, right? And you have to punt the ball away. So we had a lot of that, right? When it comes to the punt, punting the ball away and turnover on downs. And then you have, a situation where you have good field position, right? Good field position coming off of a turnover. And you get down to the goal line. And you get down to the goal line through running the ball. And then we just pass it away. You have the guys in the room. You have the guys on the field to make the right plays. And I just think we sometimes try to outsmart the opponent rather than just beating them up.
Two things that stood out to me in the first quarter, especially, that kind of set the tone of the game for me. The ESPN threw up the graphic that the Panthers are not allowed a touchdown on opening drive all year. And then they did. And then we mentioned last week that our first 20 scripted plays the past 4 or 5 weeks, regardless of the outcome, have been pretty good. We've done really well getting down, at least getting in position to score a field goal. I think we went 3 and out. So like it went kind of like, it felt like the offense was never on the field. And then when they got on the field, they didn't know what to do or get into a rhythm with it. And the 49ers were doing good at stopping our run. I will say this, the hot Rico Dowdle streak is over. Like the 200-something yards, the 180 yards, all that stuff he was doing the first couple of weeks he was starting, the league has caught up to whatever they were doing Rico. And some of that might have to do with the line in front of him. Like it's been changed so many times. I don't know.
I'm not all the way with that, right? They pay attention. They've paid attention to Rico Dowdle, right? Rico Dowdle has 6.3 yards per carry this game. 6.3. In the fourth quarter, they didn't run the ball.
They didn't give him the ball. And we were never down by a lot. Like, it's not like we were getting blown out.
The game was not out of hand. The Niners scored, they went 7, 10, 17. So it was 17-9 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
Okay, 17-9. You one score out. And so there's no need to panic. You just have to don't count the reps. Don't count the plays. Make the plays count. Okay? And you're on the road in an environment. Your best game plan has to be to run the ball on the road. That's how you make it quiet. That's how you control. That's how you control the game. But it's unfortunate because you have the right players. You have the guys to make things happen and make things shake. But I'll tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I'm going to say as far as a soapbox, right? This is not going to make or break the Carolina Panthers.
No, yeah.
This is just more so hey, let's just kind of see where we are. And to be honest, we should have beat them. Okay? We should have beat the 49ers. The
That's
Niners
kind of
played
left
really
that game
good.
too. Yeah, I kind of left it the same way.
They played really good on defense. Their quarterback He was trying to throw away a game. He was trying to throw the game away. We didn't capitalize. But for the most part, this is still a football team that is playoff worthy as long as they go out there and prove it. And guess what? They have opportunities to prove it. And don't forget, the playoff route goes through the NFC South. That's how we're going to get in. We're going to get in through the NFC South. And guess who we get to play, ladies and gentlemen? We play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice.
And we don't know the severity of Baker's injury. Was it shoulder? Was he hurt his shoulder?
Yeah, it was his shoulder, left shoulder. He did something to his left shoulder. But they looking a little weary, is what we're saying, right?
They were losing games with him the past couple of weeks. Yeah, like they've been on a losing streak. That's how we caught back up to him. So even that's what I woke up with. I woke up this morning like, oh man, we had an opportunity where we could have took sole possession, but we woke up only half a game out of first place still after playing that game, and we're about to go home where we're pretty good, even against good teams, and we're going to keep the team coming here in just a little bit. We do need to mention too, for the people asking, what happened last night. All you got to do is go look at the Panthers injury report to kind of give you a story of what happened during this game, because the Panther defense and the 49er defense were trading blows basically the first half, really. The offense for the 49ers was on the field the first, 9 minutes of the first quarter. Like they literally was a 15-play drive, like an 8-9 minute drive where they were just out there. And then we got the ball, was 3 and out, and they were right back out there again. But over the course of the game, I'm just going to run through these names here. Claude and Cherilus, he had a concussion apparently during this game, did not return. J.C. Horn, after getting 2 interceptions, somewhere along the way, I don't know when it happened, but he got ruled out the rest of the game with a concussion too. That one really worries me because of when we played, because it's a Monday when we played. Cherilus and Horn getting ruled out with concussions. I don't know if they can be back in time on Sunday to play. And in particular, Horn, kind of need him for the guys coming in here, Matthew Stafford and Devontae Adams and the Rams coming in here. We probably need our best cornerback for that game. I don't know if he's going to be available. Chandler Zavala, who's been in and out all year with injuries, had a calf. He had a walking boot on his left leg following Monday night's loss, according to Mike Kay over the Charlotte Observer. Shout out to Mike. Corey Thornton, who came in when Horn got hurt. He hurt his ankle. He was spotted in a cast and crutches after the game Monday night, according to Sheena Quick. Shout out to Sheena over at Fox Sports Radio 1340. And then today on the list, you got Cade Mays, who's questionable, Christian Rosenboom, who's questionable, and Trevin Wallace, who's questionable, are 2 starting linebackers who did not play in this game too. So you ask, how did Christian McCaffrey get off? How did he do these things? We didn't have the 2 starters we normally have in the middle of our defense. We lost our starting number 1 cornerback. The guy that came in for him, he got injured too. And then you end up losing the linebacker that was in the place of Rosenboom or Wallace during the game. So like, it's just a attrition of injuries that happened during this game. And I'm not giving an excuse. I still feel like we could have won this game, even with the injuries. But add that in there, it kind of gives you a better picture of what happened from the beginning of the game to the end, where it felt like the Panthers were just kind of on fumes and didn't have enough to overcome a 17-9 deficit in the fourth quarter on the road, because they didn't have enough on defense to do it, and the offense never really got going against a really good San Francisco defense. So that's one of those games. I don't say you throw it away, but it's over. We toss that one. We look ahead because we're still, like you said, Stu, in the middle of a playoff hunt for the first time in 7-8 years, where we win the division if we can figure this out. We've really got, I think we control our own destiny, because again, like you said, we played Tampa twice. We played the Saints again. We kind of control. If we win those 3 games, we have a pretty good shot of winning the NFC South. Now, before we get to that, we have the Rams on Sunday coming to Bank of America Stadium, and then our bye week, which is coming so late in the season. But it might be a blessing with all those names I just read off of the injury report to have the bye so late in the season to get fresh for the home run those last 5 games or 4 games or whatever. The Rams and the Rams and the Panthers, if you go over to FanDuel Sportsbook, you'll see that the Rams are actually already favored by 10.5 points in this game. The money line on the Rams is minus 750, on the Panthers is plus 530. The over-under is 45.5. So there's a lot of different prop bets and quick bets and things that you can do there. But before we get out of here, give me your thoughts on the Rams, Stu, because the Rams have quietly just kind of, I don't know, become the best team in football. Like it feels like, I will say, I think your true false about the Chiefs from last week, that might have been early. I don't know just yet. after watching that overtime game, I was like, will someone please kill the Kansas City Chiefs? Like, could we just make this end? And they won't. Nobody will ever do it. So I think that might be off. That might be a to be determined. But give me your thoughts on the Rams, because I remember this offseason, we were all sitting around like, what are the Rams doing? Matthew Stafford hasn't taken a snap in this preseason so far. And now look at him. He's probably MVP candidate.
Yeah, Matthew Stafford, again, we talked a little bit earlier, but it's not a mistake of why they are where they are. You know, this is a team that's being led by a future Hall of Famer. He's been here before, and it's almost like they have the marathon mentality, right? You know, let everybody count us out. We'll just be under the radar over here in LA. And enjoying our sunshine, which right now I'm actually in California enjoying a little bit of the sunshine. But you know, the fact that they have the balance, okay, like they know who they are. They are a team led by Matthew Stafford, and they're gonna live and die by that. Okay, so they have Puka Nacua, they have Davante Adams. They have a room full of tight ends that they can utilize. But more importantly, they have a defense, my friend, that doesn't allow people to score on them.
That's good. That's good.
That's a good thing.
That's very
That's
good.
a good thing to have if you're a football team. And they sit 9-2, 5-1 at home. That's a dang good football team. And I think they're the best team in the NFC.
You left out another important thing too. You got one of the most innovative offensive play
callers in the league.
Sean McVay draws up the craziest stuff to get people open.
Yeah.
Like, he's the best schemer in the game besides maybe Andy Reid, in my opinion. Like, he's got
methodical. He's always thinking ahead, and does a lot of the window dressing, right? Making defenses hesitate for a little split second, and that's all you need to make a big play and have
a lot of motion,
what you want, right?
Motion, yeah.
So I think the Carolina Panthers do have their work cut out for them. This is just another opportunity for them to measure themselves and to take pride into what they're doing. Go 7-6, right? Don't wait on these, the division games, in the NFC South to make a case, to prove a statement. And just you gotta have the winning mindset. Like, don't wait on people to make things happen. You go out there and make it happen. Dial up the things that that works for you. It's okay. If they know what you're dialing up, they still have to stop it.
That's what's next for us. To get to that point. Like, we know we can do some things, but sometimes it feels like we forget, like when we get to certain games and certain teams.
If it's duo, if it's GT counter, if it's boss, if it's toss, if they can't stop it, I'm running it until they can't. That's an attitude. In the games that I've seen the Carolina Panthers win these games, there's been an attitude behind the plays that they run, right? There's been momentum behind the things that they do. And so you just want to see that, come to fruition when they get back home and they face the LA Rams, because again, they might be the better team right now, but they still have to play and show up on Sunday. And so that's one of the things that you always have to have in your mind. You had the Dallas Cowboys at the moment, they were hot, and everybody was saying that, the Panthers didn't have a chance. You went to Green Bay, everybody said you didn't have a chance. This is that game where people are going to state and they're going to say that they don't have a chance. You have to go out there and prove them wrong if you want to be where you want to be.
And it's 1:00 in the afternoon, which I feel like the Panthers excel at especially at home at 1:00 for some reason. Maybe it's a routine thing or something, but again, multiple regimes, multiple players, multiple coaching staffs. I've just always felt more comfortable playing at 1:00 at Bank of America Stadium. And again, it does set up as one of those games where no one's going to believe the Panthers can do anything. Panthers can kind of sneak up on the Rams. Maybe the Rams are overlooking the Panthers, going into this matchup. And shout out to, there's a lot of people in the comment section here. It's a condensed version of Believe in Panthers today because of the holiday week. We won't be back on until the post game for Panthers versus Rams on Sunday. After that, you can catch us live here on the Believe YouTube channel. Stu is actually not where he normally is. He's on the West Coast. He's in California. So I see a couple people talking about the connection and all that stuff. The audio is fine. So if you want to hear the audio version of this episode, you'll be able to hear it on Believe Podcast Networks later on today. And we never really went about trying to get it more adjusted because we knew we were only going to be on for about 30 minutes. So, and look at the view. Look at where he is. Like, why would he go inside? Like, look at that. Like, like you said you're in California? Oh, I think I might have lost his audio. Oh,
sorry. I'm on the beach. My kids are inside the room, so I didn't want to, make them have to be quiet. So I'm out here on the porch, man.
You sound fine. Like, I mean, you're a little fuzzy with the visual, but it's okay.
Go and check out the audio, and you'll be okay. Make sure but as far as the Believe in Panthers, I'm still your neighborhood Carolina Panther hope dealer.
We're still in
Don't worry.
We're 6-6. Again, if we had told y'all back in August that on November 25th, 2025, your Carolina Panthers would be 6-6 with wins over like the Dallas Cowboys and Green Bay Packers, and we're in contention and a half a game out of first in the NFC South with 6 games to play, would you have took that deal? And every single one of you watching or listening right now would have said yes. Absolutely. Yes. Let's effing go.
That's what everybody listen to the words that King of all trades just said. 2 words.
2 words. Keep
pounding.
And again, guys, when it comes to this, you can't take these games as one-offs on Bryce Young and his character and, rating him. Should we keep him? Should we cut him? Should we trade him off of one game? Sometimes you run across a team that's just better than you. Like sometimes it just happens. Like sometimes the situation is just the case where the 49ers were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago. Like, and a lot of that core, they've lost a lot, but a lot of that core is still there. And it's not like we don't know who Christian McCaffrey is. We've been talking about him ever since they traded him. Like we knew, okay, we got to figure out something with him, but I didn't think it was going to be just him. So we're going to ball that one up, throw that one away. It's Panthers Rams on Sunday at 1:00, Bank of America Stadium. We'll be on live after that on Believe's YouTube channel. The audio will be available on Believe's Podcast Networks. This audio will be available on Believe Podcast Networks a little bit later on today. We both have hard out, so we need to get out for it. We just needed to touch on what happened last night and to give a little thoughts about the Rams going forward. You want to give a prediction for Rams Panthers before we get out of here? Like a quick score? Or
26-23.
Ooh, that's a high scoring game. So we getting over the over under is 45.5. So according to Stu, go ahead and take that over at minus 105. It's going to be some scoring going on at Bank of America Stadium. So we're going to go ahead and take off here. We won't see you guys till after the holidays. So everybody have a very happy Thanksgiving holiday. Rest up. Enjoy the football. There's a great slate of games on Thanksgiving, actually. I know it's Chiefs Cowboys at the 4:00 slot. So that's going to be really good to eat dinner too. And the Lions and I think it's the Packers maybe at the 1:00 slot. So that should be a good game too. Ravens Bengals is the night game. And the Ravens have won 5 straight and are back in contention again to get in the playoffs. So enjoy your holiday. We will see you guys Sunday immediately following Panthers versus Rams. Just check our social media outfits and get the link there. And for Jonathan Stewart, this is Desmond Johnson. We will see you guys on Sunday. Keep pounding.